The Fort Bend County Library System is host to many interesting programs, some of which can be delightful and surprising and intriguing, though not exactly unexpected.
The Missouri City Branch Library has a graphic novel book club, and we are trying to attract more people, especially high school, young adult age. So we reached out to Bedrock City Comics, which is the new comic book store. They opened a location near us, and they did a presentation on the history of comics and how to get into comics for people who are a little bit of reluctant readers.
Assistant Manager Kevin and I are going to do a presentation. I'm going to talk about the history of comics, and Kevin's going to do a little talk about Comics 101, how to get into them and enjoy them from a reading standpoint, and how to. It's a daunting thing getting into comics if you've never read them before. I started collecting comics when I was a kid, and I don't know how to explain it, but it just hit me hard. When I was 9, I bought my first comics, an Iron Man, and I just loved them. I loved them from the get-go.
A lot of people were not raised reading comics, surprisingly. I feel like the older generation had access to them, and now younger generations feel like they're not really the same as books, but I think comic books are still literature. You are reading, and anything to get you reading.
They're absolutely literature. I mean, obviously there are some comics that are more literate than others, and some that appeal to people on a different level than others, but you can't deny that comics were literature when someone like Neil Gaiman started in comics and is now as big a literate author as he is. And the list just starts there. I mean, there are comics geared at all kinds of age groups and reading comprehension levels and whatnot. They're not just for kids. They really never have been, though the public perception has always been that comics were for kids. But over the last 20 years or so, I think that perception has really changed, and particularly with the way that comics as a medium have been embraced by Hollywood, have gone on through Hollywood to create really literate movies that people aren't aware that were originally comics. For instance, A History of Violence was originally a comic. Road to Perdition was originally a comic. Absolutely literature. I think it's going to be interesting to see the progression of comics with some of the things that have been going on. I mean, comics being available digitally online has really been a big boon for us, as opposed to other industries where it's been kind of a curse. Bookstores and music stores have really been hindered by digital accessibility, whereas comic stores have really prospered because of it, because for a long time people weren't aware that comics were still even coming out. They were only available in comic stores, and we've been able to use digital as a way to promote brick and mortar stores in the comic industry and actually sell the hard copies. It'll be interesting to see how the entertainment thing continues. I mean, movies based on comic properties have just gotten bigger and bigger every year, and it just seems like there's no stop. And obviously that's been a huge help for us in our store and the industry as a whole. But it'll be interesting to see how that continues as well, and it'll be fun to watch it progress.
For more information on the local comic scene, go online to bedrockcity.com. For more information on upcoming programs at your local library branch, go to fortbend.lib.tx.us. For Celebrate Reading, this is Randall Williams.